Hi everyone. So today we're going to go over a major vocabulary word. This vocabulary word is my favorite in all of the art vocabulary words in the entire world. Why? Because it's like magic. Once you learn how to do it, the whole world opens up to you and all of your artwork immediately starts to get better. What is it? It's value. Okay? So a lot of you guys call it shading, but the real word, the real professional vocabulary word is value. Okay, so if I have shapes like this, right? So this right here is flat. This is a shape. Okay, this right here is a cube. It's the same square, right? But now it's made into a cube and it's 3D. So it's 3D, all of a sudden it becomes a form. Okay, those are also vocabulary words. This is a shape, this is a form. It's easy to make a square into 3D, to make it a form, by using perspective. But how do we make a circle into a sphere and a triangle into a cone? That's what we're going to be going over today. And how you do this is using value. So this is a value scale. So it was painted. It has pure white and it slowly gets to pure black. All right, so that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So let me show you some examples because it's like magic. So if I have a circle and I want it to be a round three-dimensional sphere, I simply have to do shading. All right, same with my cone. My cube already looks three-dimensional, but some shading always makes it look more three-dimensional. All right, so we're going to go over how to do this today. But let me show you some good examples of how shading can make your artwork instantly better, instantly more realistic. So this is a drawing done with pencil of a self-portrait a student did many years ago. So as you can tell here, this is so interesting to us because it has pure whites, it has a whole bunch of mediums, and it has pure blacks. That's why our eye is attracted to this. It has all the values on the value scale. Here's another example. Dropping things over here. So this is a whole bunch of shapes that were made into forms using perspective, but everything looks really three-dimensional now because of the shading and value. If you look closely, there's pure whites, there's middle values, and there's really pure darks. So this person did a really good job at showing the whole value scale, right? So from pure blacks all the way to pure whites. Some people make mistakes of only putting this middle value, and then their artwork isn't very attractive. So here, the activity that you guys are going to do today is you're going to get this sheet of paper, all right? You're going to start with the value scale up here. So there's going to be one section. This is going to be the second section that you're going to fill in. And then don't forget this third section down here, and I'm going to go through them all right now. So on here, first off, I'm going to peek over here. Ooh, the sun is coming from right here. So this is where the sun was. Okay, so I'm going to come on this side and remind myself where the sun is coming from, because the light source really is going to determine where your shading and value is. So now that I got that out of the way, I'm going to come up here to my value scale, and I'm going to start with these two right here. All right, now I want to start in the middle because it's easier to get darker and to get lighter than it is to go from light and then go dark. Sometimes people get dark too fast. If they go dark, they get light too fast. So if you start in the middle and work your way out, then it's easier. So I'm not gonna press hard, and I'm not gonna press light. I'm gonna press just medium because that's the value I'm supposed to be getting. Okay, now pay attention. If I'm going like this, I'm going to go back over because I can see these individual lines, and I'm going to make them nice and soft. Remember, this is not an exercise in smearing with your fingers, so please do not smear with your fingers. This is an exercise showing Miss Waller that you can control your pencil. All right, so when you're done, you can just simply erase the bottom and erase there. Okay, now here's what I don't want. If you're going like this, right? Oh, actually, I should be going lighter, shouldn't I? So if you're going like this, and you get tired halfway in, don't start going like this. It's going to look sloppy. Okay? So stay this direction and stay this direction the whole time. All right? You don't have to worry about stopping here or stopping here. You can go outside of the box because you can erase it later. All right? So don't get sloppy and start to go the other direction because it's going to look really messy. All right? So you're going to work your way this way and work your way this way. You're going to come down here. Remember where your light source is. You're going to kind of tell yourself, okay, I need this entire value scale. So Ms. Waller said I need very light, medium, and very dark. Okay, so I'm going to just very, very lightly tell myself where I'm going to stay white. Okay, this is going to be medium. It's going to be dark. Right along here is going to be really dark. Okay, so the trick to doing this, you guys, is to follow the curve of the sphere. So I know the sphere is curving like this. So I'm just giving myself some guidelines here. This is the direction I'm going to color in. So I'm just telling myself, okay, this is how I'm going to color. If I have something round, but I color it in like this, up and down, that's not going to look round anymore, okay? So I really want to round with the curve of the object, all right? So now that I have that barely there, now I'm going to start to actually get a little bit darker, okay? And I would take my time and really go over these and over these and over these to smooth them out. But right now, for an example, don't have that much time. So I'm going to get a little bit darker, slowly getting darker, right? And obviously I'd take my time, but I'm just going to show you down the middle here, okay? So this is a little bit darker. Blend that out. A little bit darker. Okay. And so can you guys tell a difference here, here, and here? And even darker, right? So you're going until the very end, and if you can't remember exactly how to do it, flip it over and look on this side, okay? This one also curves with the curves, all right? It has a pure white. So if this were mine and I had all these extra lines, I would go back in there. Remember, I would finish over here and I'd finish over here. I'm just doing this quickly for an example. I'd go back in lightly with my pencil and try to smooth some of this out a little bit so that it looked a little bit smoother and more finished, okay? So you'll have more time to do that. So then you're gonna come here, you're gonna peek over here. Ooh, my light source is over here. Here's pure white. Slowly it gets darker, 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 okay? So start with pure white. All right, and I'm gonna get slowly darker, and even darker. So obviously I'd go slower. I'd make sure I didn't have those down there. All right, I'd blend all this in, make it all nice and pretty, but please promise me you are not with your finger. This is not an exercise on how to smear with your finger. This is an exercise to show me that you can have control over your pencil, okay? So I'd clean this up even more before I turned it in, but you guys get the point. At the end, you can erase the sloppy lines that came out. Please remember to do the shading, the shadow actually. Now, this one right here is a value scale that you have to do without individual boxes to help guide you. So this one is the hardest, all right? So again, find the middle, do a middle value, go back over it so that you don't have individual lines. And then from here, you're gonna go all the way to the end, and this is light. So I'm just gonna underline this. This right here, I'm gonna keep pure white. So I'm gonna tell myself, do not touch anything here. Over here is dark. So over here, I'm gonna press as hard as I can, but I don't wanna rip a hole in my paper. So I'm gonna press as hard as I can over here without ripping a hole in my paper and get it dark, 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 dark. Now I'm gonna connect these. I'm gonna connect this to this one, this to this one, okay? So however you wanna do that, like I'm gonna pick just a little bit darker. I'm gonna go about the same size over here. All right, so I can slowly, this slowly blends into that one, okay? And I'm gonna slowly get a little bit darker. I hope you guys can see it on the camera. okay? So here's one value, a little bit darker, a little bit darker. The next one's gonna be even, hopefully a little bit darker, right? Until I get all the way down there, all right? And we want to trick the eye, so we want it to go so very slow and then turn into black. So very slow until it turns into pure white, all right? So at the end, it's gonna look something like this. The only thing missing from this one is the bottom value scale that was not included. Good luck.